What a dark, dreary day it has been here in Michigan after Michigan lost to Auburn in the Sweet 16 game last night. They missed front ends at the charity stripe. They shot poorly. They turned it over a lot. They allowed 19 offensive rebounds versus Auburn. Michigan lost in every category that they shouldn't have. They needed to win in all those categories to win the game. Shooting was 36% from Michigan, 29% from three. Auburn wasn't much better in this area, shooting 39% from the field and 29% from three as well. But Tahad Pettiford off the bench was the knife in the back, the nail in the coffin that he hit timely threes in this game. 7 of them. One of them he was fouled on and got a 4-point play. He finished with 20 points in 29 minutes off the bench for Auburn. Michigan in free throws were not up to par. They missed 6 of them, 18 out of 24. Which really isn't that bad, but compare it to Auburn, who got there less, but had a better percentage, 14 of 18 for Auburn. Turnovers were even at 15, but that's way too many for Michigan in this game, and we all knew that going in. Rebounding was always going to be Michigan's Achilles heel, and they gave up 19 offensive rebounds to Auburn and were out-rebounded by 6 in this game. And Auburn was able to capitalize on those extra possessions down the stretch, including points off of turnovers. Michigan forced 15 turnovers. And, wow, this was a frantic game back and forth. Michigan could not get anything off of it. Auburn knew how to play this frantic game, and boy, did they capitalize. Kason for Michigan only had 11 minutes. Why? I felt like that was a disservice for this team, Dusty May. He scored 7 points in those 11 minutes and played great when he was out there. Roddy Gale finished with 25 minutes. He got 25 off the bench. It was obvious that he was not going to have the same game they had versus Texas A&M, where he scored 26 points. So give Kason, the young guy, a chance. Build his culture. Put him in there so he doesn't transfer like Scottie Pippen did. But Golden finished with 2 of 9 shooting. He only got 9 shots in this game for 10 points. He should have been better, and he should have been fed the ball more in this game. He was 6 of 9 from the charity stripe, so he did his part there. He got people almost fouled out at crucial times. If they could have fed him a little bit more down the stretch and got Broom out earlier, and the other guy who fouled out earlier, then he could have did his work down low. But no, that's not what we tried to do. Auburn advanced to the 3rd Elite 8 of their history, 78-65 in a win over Michigan. Michigan had a magical season, all right. I don't want to take anything away from first-year head coach Dusty May. I'm calling him out on some of these issues that we need to talk about, but, he knows the team better than I do. He knows the players better than I do. And he was hoping for maybe some different things to happen, like shooting. Shooting needs to happen. So that tells me he's going to go get some prolific shooters in the off season after this Sweet 16 run. So we'll see what he has in mind in store for Michigan next season, including his roster and who he is going to retain and then bring in. But for now, Auburn has advanced, and they get Tom Izzo and Michigan State, who does rebound like none other. So watch out tomorrow night, Tigers. One Michigan team is going to beat your ass. All right. So I have some notes here about the game. I don't know how many I'm going to read off. And I don't know why it's worth a damn to any of you to listen. But the 5 seed Michigan took on number 1 Auburn in Atlanta, Georgia, late. I don't think they started till 10 o'clock. Was it 9:50 when they started? Man. Auburn struck first with a 3. Trey Donaldson answered in this game. Burnett drove for a 2. Auburn had 5 straight points and a shooting foul that sent them to the line at the under 16 TV timeout. Auburn led 9-5 early in this game, and that was a key also for Michigan. They needed to get a huge lead, and they finally got some type of a lead in this game, but they couldn't expound on it. They couldn't expand it because of all the turnovers that they had early in this game. Michigan got 4 straight points, but Auburn had 11 rebounds to Michigan's 5 early in this game. Golden got on the board just before the under 12 TV timeout. Yeah, we didn't even get him the ball until just before, just after 8 minutes had passed in this game. But he did have a floater and drew a foul. So it was a 13-13 tie. It was frantic in this game to start, back and forth. Misses all around for both teams until Wolf finally hit a 3, and then he had a layup. Wolf of all people was one that had a decent game for Michigan. But Pettiford had a layup for Auburn to take a 21-20 lead for them at the under 8 TV timeout in the first half. Wolf took it to the rack with a jam out of that break. Burnett drilled a shot after another Michigan turnover led to a field goal. 3 straight turnovers by both teams sent it to the under 4 TV timeout with a score of 27-25. Low scoring. No team was doing anything offensively. It was a battle. Michigan was leading. There were a ton of turnovers for both teams again to start with less than 4 minutes left in the first half, and Golden missed 2 free throws. Auburn led at halftime 30-29. I was thinking that this is Michigan's kind of a game, being able to play defense and not commit fouls. They were not committing fouls, which gave Michigan a shot in this game. It was a one-possession game that benefits Michigan as well throughout the history of this season. Michigan was down 12 rebounds, though, at halftime. And that was a precursor for the second half. A turnover for each team started in the second half. Wolf hit a step-back 3 again. Burnett made 1 free throw and then got a steal. He got a fast break layup. Turnovers persisted until the under 16 TV timeout for both teams. Michigan scored 5 points and Auburn scored 5 points in the first 4+ minutes of this game. That's it. So it was continuing to be, that low-scoring slugfest of a game. Golden then made 2 free throws. Wolf got his 15th and 16th points. Roddy Gale got a layup, and Wolf got a steal and 1. Broom then got an and 1 right after that for Auburn. Wolf had an offensive rebound tip-in for Michigan. Back and forth we went. It was a game. Wolf had an amazing spin move take to the rim from the 3-point line from way out to put Michigan up 7 points, 46-39. Sheddard got fouled on a 2-pointer and made both free throws. I thought that was a 3-point shot, but he only got 2 free throws. So, I was watching live. There were people here again. One person here again. Kyle, you know who you are, Michigan State fan. He was all about the Michigan State game, and then he didn't even want to watch this one. So, sporadic note-taking here for me. It was a bad night. Anyway. Pettiford, number 0 for Auburn, made a huge three, a deep three. And Michigan then turned it over on the next possession. It was 48-42, Michigan at the under 12 TV timeout in the second half. We still had a lead. Jones then for Auburn hit a three. And then Auburn had a layup. Then Michigan fouled and Auburn was within 1 point. Pettiford got a jumper after a bunch of Michigan fouls in a row in the middle portion of the second half to take the lead 49-48. Dusty May called a timeout, and rightfully so, but it was too little too late. This was close in every stat except rebounding, and that's where they were dominant. Auburn was on a 10-0 run, but Michigan was playing hard still in this game. Jones then had a crucial layup for Auburn. Then they drilled another three off of a screen. Wolf had another turnover, and then another three gave Auburn a 7-point lead, their largest lead of the game, after Michigan just had a 7-point lead. It was 57-50. Auburn at the under 8 TV timeout. Auburn was on a 20-2 run. Michigan had one field goal made in like 6.5 or 7 minutes of this game, and we've gone through stretches like that. I credit Bruce Pearl. I credit Auburn. I credit the upperclassmen, even though they are a team of transfers that, they've had all year to play together, and they were the number 1 overall seed for a reason. So they finally pulled away in this game at the end. Golden made one more free throw instead of 2 and gave Auburn, an Auburn player, another 4th foul, but too late. Pettiford made another miraculous 3 for Auburn and put them up 10 points with 5:10 left. Then Pettiford got fouled on a 3 and made that 3. They were up 13 points. Golden made 2 more free throws at this time, but it was way too little, way too late. The game was over already. They went on their run. Michigan got destroyed by Auburn in the second half. The fight wasn't there. LJ Kason wasn't there. The people off the bench were not there, and we needed them. We were getting tired. And that's the thing. Depth matters. Guard play matters. If you have a guy that can make 7 threes, that is an important factor. Michigan just does not have that guy right yet. So I just want to say that Michigan had a magical season after year 1 under Dusty May, and we'll find out what his team looks like going forward. Auburn, good luck with Tom Izzo. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It wasn't the outcome that I wanted as a Michigan fan, but at least Michigan made it to the Sweet 16 again. They had 27 wins instead of 24 losses. It was a huge one-year turnaround, and we'll see what Dusty has in store going forward. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It was a loss. It was a horrible, dreary day. I just watched the Florida game. Man, was that a game. They are the first team to go to the Final Four after beating Texas Tech. Texas Tech had a big lead, huge lead. And unlike Michigan, Florida came back and won that game in a 1-possession game. So we'll see what Michigan State can do versus Auburn tomorrow. And then there's another game tomorrow. But tonight we have another one coming up, so I'll be watching that as well. Who is going to make the Final Four? I'll be interested to see. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Go Blue. Always go Blue, baby. Let's go.